Oh, awesome.
So yes, so this is our product demo on our virtual reality educational gaming platform. The platform is to teach cybersecurity, coding, and entrepreneurship to high school students in poor communities. So one of the models that we're using is an adaptive learning model. And the reason we chose to do that is because students learn faster in this model. It also improves their understanding and engages the students, and teachers are able to track the data that the students, as they go through the program, the teachers are able to track the data, which is in what they're learning, their progression, any problems they may be having. So students will be able to, teachers will be able to track that and give feedback to the students. The other model that we're using is a consultative thinking model. And because of this, we are able to see things before they happen. So we can predict new technologies. We can predict changes in the market and implement that in our game. And so what that does is it allows us to test multiple scenarios without the cost that goes into doing that. So we're using a mixed reality. So Microsoft has just come out with this software that allows you to do a mixed reality VR standpoint, where we are going to the room, it measures the room and create a virtual environment out of that room. The reason we chose virtual reality because to teach this is it increases students' engagement. And so the more the students are engaged, the more the students will learn. It's also an immersive learning. And so with immersive learning, the majority of the students learn from hands-on. So the students will be able to have hands-on experience in coding and entrepreneurship and cybersecurity. They therefore grasping the material much faster.
Okay.
So we chose cybersecurity because 3.5 million unfulfilled. They're predicting 3.5 million unfulfilled jobs in cybersecurity in 2021. Coding, they're predicting a 17% increase by 2020. And then with entrepreneurship, they expect that 40% of people would either be independent contractors or solopreneurs. And so we want to provide experience and skills for them to be able to do that moving forward. So we're going to just go through one of the tracks. We're going to go through the cybersecurity track. So basically, a person will be able to come in and click one of the modules within cybersecurity and go complete that module. Some of the things that we'll be focused on is data analytics, computer systems and networks and internet. We want to be able to teach a person who may not know anything about computers, what it is about computers, how to protect it, and at the end of the track, they should be ready to go take the Security Plus certification. We also want to gamify this environment. And so the reason we are gamifying, it provides students with a sense of achievement. And so as students begin to achieve and advance and increase in levels, it will increase their engagement. And we can predict how students will begin to behave through the gaming aspects. It will also encourage students to continue to move forward. And as they continue to progress in the game and move forward, what it will help them is not to give up. So students in this environment, students will be challenged. They will be taught how to critical think, but also that perseverance that it would take to continue to progress and move forward. And these are skills that they will need in life going forward. So as a student levels up, that means they are increasing in the technical skill. So at each level, we will have a measurement saying, these are the skills that you're supposed to learn at this particular level. It also will tie, the levels will also be tied to the Common Core skills in math and science. So we're going to say you have not only have to gain these technical skills, but you also have to gain skills in math and science. And initially, we'll be testing some of that through some assessments at the end of in the game. But as we get more and more adept, we will be able to track them learning that as they're playing. So students will be able to earn badging, and our badging system will be a little bit different than a typical game. So the way students earn badges is by helping other students. So students who are having difficulty in the game will reach out to their other students, whether that is writing out in the form that we're going to create, and writing out a question, or reaching out to a student, or just saying, I'm having trouble. Their fellow students will see that and be able to create either a video, or they'll be able to write up something that says, hey, I had trouble here, here's how I advanced. So what that does, it teaches collaboration, and it teaches teamwork, and it teaches problem solving from being able to teach instead of saying, oh, I already know this. So it teaches problem solving as in how to help a fellow student. And so they can't graduate without earning 3 to 5 badges. So it's a must that they have to help their students. So we'll have a dashboard, and the dashboard will track the progression of each student. So the students will be able to see their own data, their own progression, but the teachers and administrators will be able to track the entire student population for their school. And the reason I'm saying their school, because that's going to be really, really important. So as we move forward, because of the virtual community that the students will have access to. So students will be a part of a virtual community. And so basically they will be able to talk to anyone that's on a platform. And so what this does is it does a number of things. One, it reduces some barriers. So at some point we want to put people in here who may have disabilities, who may have autism, who, may have speech impediments, and they will feel comfortable in this environment because it allows them to interact just like any other student. Another thing is safe. We're going to be able to monitor that. So the only people that can get on this platform is going to be students and administrators. And so then we will also have people monitoring the platform to make sure that it's safe and make sure that there's no inappropriate messages, and we'll be able to monitor and track all of this. But what it does is it also gives, especially students in at-risk communities, it gives them a platform where people can help them progress if they don't have that community in their immediate home or in their immediate neighborhood. It gives them a community so that will continue to encourage them, that will continue to help them become the best that they can become. So not everyone has a supportive community. So in this virtual community, we hope to give everyone that kind of community so they can move forward. The other thing is we want to give students workforce development. So we want to teach them financial literacy. We want to teach them resume writing. We want to teach them how to conflict resolution. So a lot of coding schools and they focus on technical skills. And so, we want to have the whole complete student. So we want to improve not just the technical skills, but their soft skills. We also want to partner with other employers. So when that kid finishes our program, he can go get an internship while he's still in school. Eventually, we want to be a pre-apprenticeship program so they can become, apprenticeships coming out of high school. So coming out of high school, being able to get entry-level jobs, apprenticeship programs, or start an internship, depending on where they're at in their lives, it allows them to get them a job that's, a living wage, a good job, a job that's going to be needed in the future. So it's a win-win, not for the employers, but it's a win-win for these kids that are coming out of this program, especially those in low socioeconomic communities where now they have a living wage coming out of high school and don't have to go to college to be able to get one of these jobs, but we don't discourage college. So if you want to go to college, we're saying, let us help you get the skills that the STEM skills that you're going to need in college, and you can further your college degree. I know also that some of these kids are going to go through our program and not want to go into STEM. I'd rather that be a choice that they make based on they tried it and they didn't like it, compared to they haven't been exposed and they're afraid. So I want them to make a choice that STEM is not for them, because it's just not for them, because not everybody's going to want to do a STEM career field, but I want to provide the opportunities needed for these kids to have, a better future. So we're going to try to move from a teacher-directed classroom to a learning-directed classroom. So what we will have is we will actually pay teachers to be facilitators in our program. And so we will actually train the teachers on what they need to know as these students are going through the class, but we will also be walking along with them, helping them along the way until they feel comfortable to be in this experience by themselves. So as the students are going through the game, they will spend approximately 30 minutes in the game. So they get to play the game, they get to learn. We'll pull them out, and then they will go through the workforce development, but then they will also go through a process where the teachers are able to ask them questions. What did they learn? Have that discussion amongst the class, and so they can have this interaction. The teacher can figure out how to help each individual kid, instead of trying to teach the kid all at the same level. So it allows the kids to learn at a self pace through the game, but it also allows them to ask the teacher questions, and it allows the teacher to focus on those that are having trouble at different periods of the time in the game. So, Mary may be slow starting out, so she can focus on her, and then Mary gets it and start progressing, but then Johnny gets in the middle of the game and he's having trouble. So now she can go focus on her attention on Johnny. And it's not, we put all these things on teachers, right? But what we're trying to do is make it where teachers are still spending the same amount of energy, but it's focused. And it's not, and we're also covering the common core skills and the standards that they still have to maintain. So now the classroom becomes more of a lifelong learning situation for the teacher and for the student, where they're still meeting all the criteria that the states and the federal government is giving them, but everyone is growing and all learning skills are being taught instead of one focused learning skill. So that's the adaptive model that we will be incorporating within our virtual reality platform. So we know that if we just keep people on a virtual reality platform, that they will lose the human aspect. So we want to combine that virtual reality platform along with, still engaging face-to-face time with the students as well. So with that, do you have any questions?
How long is the program?
So we're looking to make the program for a year.
Okay. So would it be targeted then at a particular age of high schooler, or will it be open to a variety of people?
So we're going to target ninth and 10th grade because it gives the students a chance to go through the program and then get into the internship while they're in high school. So our goal is to make sure that they have the skills when they graduate to go into working a regular job.
Okay.
So that's why we're picking ninth and 10th grade.
Okay.
Plus there's always.
Are you partnered with any?
Okay, what did you say again? Have we partnered with?
Are you partnered with any other organizations?
Yes, so right now we have 2 schools. We have the STEM High, Highland Ranch, and St. Vrain's Innovation Center.
Okay.
We're also in talks and partnering with Microsoft.
Oh, fantastic.
We're talking with DU on Tuesday to be able to work with DU and their students as well. And we've reached out and have preliminary talks with the Zale group.
Okay, great.
So, but also some of our partners include like the University of Maryland. They're another one of our partners that's working with us on this. We're partnering with a company called Discover Pathways,
Okay.
who focuses on workforce development.
Okay, cool. All right, that's it for my questions. How else can I be helpful?
Yeah, so I would love to, especially when we get into some of the research portions, really talk with you about that.
Yeah, that was one thing I noticed. I mean, I was listening to you both to get the content and with a critical ear. And I noticed that when you talked about the expected increase in jobs, that you just said they. And I think personally, especially if this was focused towards investors or potential partners, I would have really liked to hear that I assume it's the Occupational Employment Handbook that
It's actually the Bureau of
Labor Statistics.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I would just really like to hear that.
Okay.
Just so that people know who that they is.
Okay.
Where that data is coming from. And then the one other thing, like I loved how you got into depth and described the adaptive learning environment. I was a little surprised that you didn't make any reference to, I think it's in the Bronx where they're doing this with math already.
Oh, because I'm probably not aware that they're doing this in the Bronx with math already.
Okay. Yeah, so in the Bronx, they're using a very similar model where they've got computer software and students go in, and it's not virtual reality, so you're definitely still on the cutting edge, but the students are going in and they're doing math work in, I think, a somewhat gamified environment.
Okay.
And then they come out of it and the teacher knows where they're at and can help facilitate discussion and facilitate learning. And it's a lot like what you described. So I think it'll be a great parallel because from what I've heard, they've gotten fantastic results.
Yeah, so I would definitely look them up because yes, that's exactly what we want to do. Okay,
great. Yeah. So I heard it. You know what? It wasn't a National Public Radio story. It was either on radio. I think it was on Radio Lab, the podcast.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm happy to help find some of this stuff. And then on a super nitpicky level, and this might just be my own level of ignorance, when you were talking about how you're going to use, was it computational thinking to help the thing evolve? I read the little circle of stuff and I had no idea how it connected to what you were saying.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. I probably just don't understand this, but I don't know, maybe I would just find a more basic model of computational thinking so that people aren't thinking, how does this connect?
Okay.
That would be that, but that's super nitpicky, and it could be my own ignorance.
But all nitpickiness, I need that data because I don't know if other people. So someone else, this is the second time someone said something about this model. So maybe I will look into something a little bit easier.
Well, and I think it might not even be that you need an easier model. If you can just find something simpler that just depicts computational thinking, less
Okay.
words, more movement, more pretty.
Yes. Okay. Got that.
What you were saying made total sense. It was just that the picture on the screen, I didn't get how it connected to what you were saying.
Okay.
So you might be able to find a diagram or even make a diagram that just
Right.
depicts that computational thinking is like 3 steps instead of a circle of 9 or whatever it was.
Okay. That's great feedback.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it resonated. It makes sense. I think it's very cool. I felt like you did a nice job of having slides that were mostly pictures, but you really painted the picture around them. On the one where you were talking about the virtual community, I felt like it almost seemed like you were arguing with yourself at a few moments there. You were like, this is really great, but it will also do this. So you might just want to think more how you frame that, because
Okay.
it's basically all prose.
Right.
And I feel like you're trying to justify it, and I feel like you can be less justification based in what you're saying. You know,
Okay.
just say this has so many positives. Here's the positives I see.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just like what you said made sense. It's just you used like terms like but in the middle, and I was like, I don't think there's a but there. I think it's an and. This is also great.
Yeah.
Overall, it's great. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it's a fantastic way to look at kids learning, and I love the concept.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
And I would definitely keep you abreast. I know you have some data. I mean, some library things that I want to use, like for grants. And we have a lot of research, but I'm always open to more data, more research
Okay.
that we don't have. Like this radio lab, like I didn't have that. Like I have.
Okay, I will actually, so I'm working all day today. That's why you're doing a Saturday one with me. So when I'm on the desk, I will look around and see if I can just find that Radiolab podcast.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. So I listen to podcasts during car trips. So there's a couple other options. It might have been Freakonomics too. So I'll run through my podcast listening list and figure out which one it was.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, thank you for. No, that's it. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, of course, glad to. And just keep me posted. If you at some point have questions and want to email me, feel free. Or if you want to come in or meet for a full Biz Boost session, we can sit down and look at whatever data is available to help build this.
Okay, I would definitely want to do the Biz Boost session.
Okay, great. Yeah. Just I know you are in the midst of a big program, so just let me know when makes sense for you to come in.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.